According to one definition found online, Capharnaum means a disorderly accumulation of objects. Although that's a fantastically uncommercial title for a movie, the concept suits this latest work from actor, writer, director Nadine Labaki. Caramel, where do we go now? She's made up a grab bag of ideas and plot elements that work surprisingly effectively as a melodrama with a message. Several messages, in fact, all illustrated through the ordeals suffered by 12-year-old Zayn al-Rafia, a child fighting to survive in the slums and shanty towns of Lebanon. Although the narrative is structured through a highly unbelievable instigating conceit, Zayn is trying to sue his own parents in court for giving him life in the first place. Labaki lures such outstanding performances out of the almost entirely non-professional cast and sketches such a credible view of this wretchedly poor milieu that the flaws are mostly forgivable. Labaki and casting director Jennifer Haddad have sought actors whose life stories track closely to the backstories of the characters they're playing. That means star al-Rafia really is a kid who had until recently been working, per the press notes, as a delivery boy since the age of 10, while Cedra Isam, the girl who plays his 11-year-old sister, is a Syrian refugee who was discovered while selling chewing gum in the streets of Beirut, and so on. Such parallels between life and art aren't enough on their own to account for the felt authenticity of the performances. It takes a director with genuine empathy, patience and rapport with performers, backed by enough budget to shoot hundreds of hours of footage. The film was made over 6 months, in order to make it work this emotionally persuasive. Inevitably, there will be doubters who won't feel so won over, who will yawn and invoke parallels with films like Slumdog Millionaire and other works of so-called poverty porn, and mock the pile-up of misfortune heaped upon the hero and his friends. Reactions will depend on each viewer's unique levels of compassion and cynicism. I do know that by the end, both I and the total stranger sitting next to me were sniffling and sharing a packet of tissues between us. Structurally picaresque, the story starts in a courtroom into which Zayn is led in handcuffs, having been arrested for stabbing a son of a bitch, as he describes him. It's revealed that, with support from his lawyer, Labaki herself, taking an on-screen backseat, he hopes to sue his parents, Mother Suad Qadr al-Haddad, and Father Selim Fadi Kamel Yusuf, for giving him life in the first place when they couldn't offer him even a minimal level of care, safety and affection. Zayd's parents are so poor they couldn't afford the fees to register his birth, which means he can't get a state ID. Cardin is therefore effectively a non-person, unqualified to get a passport, attend a school or even get medical assistance at a hospital in case of an emergency. This lack of papers is a crucial theme in the film and an issue some audiences may fail to grasp the significance of, creating a potential messaging problem in some offshore markets. Raised in a filthy hovel in a crumbling concrete high-rise, Zayn, as one of the older kids in the family, is forced to work in order to feed himself and his siblings. He makes deliveries for a local grocer, a man with a sinister interest in Zayn's little sister Sahar. When his desperate parents effectively sell Sahar off to the grocer, Zayn runs away to a coastal town. A chance encounter on a bus with a slightly addled Armenian dotard dressed like Spider-Man, or Cockroach Man as he prefers to call himself, leads to Zayn sleeping at a beachside amusement park. There he meets Ethiopian immigrant Rahil Yordanos Shifra, a kindly soul who is barely better off than Zayd. Rahil is hiding the existence of her one-year son Jonas, played by unbearably cute baby girl Bola Watif Treasure Bankole, whose own real-life parents were temporarily deported during filming. From both employers and the authorities, she keeps the kid in a shopping cart while at work. Living in a shack made of corrugated plastic, detritus and rust, she is trying to save up enough cash for a new forged ID. Card on offer from shifty soup trader Aspro Alachouchny. Raheel takes in Zaid, who proves to be a surprisingly resourceful and adept babysitter for Jonas, whom he passes off as his brother. The film detours away from Zayn in order to follow Raheel and her travails for a while, only to swing back suddenly to Zayn when Raheel inexplicably fails to return from work one day, forcing the prepubescent child into increasingly desperate measures to keep himself and Jonas from starving to death. But while the trajectory looks unrelentingly grim, Labaki punctuates the ordeal with moments of joy, warmth and humor, while her husband and producer Khaled Mozanner's orchestral score offers sweet notes of optimistic promise among the often discordant strings and feedback. Those who won't go along with the film's earnest exploration of the depths of despair won't be any more mollified by the last act's many collisions of coincidence and grandstanding speeches. But it's impossible not to appreciate the vigorous editing by Constantine Bach and Laura Gardet that keeps things going in a clip that sweeps you up like a wave, and the way Christopher Allen's cinematography, often interspersed with breathtaking drone footage, shows off Beirut in all its squalid splendor. Venue: Cannes Film Festival. Competition: Production: Amuse Films. Presentation in association with Cedras and Best Bank, with the participation of Sunnyland Film Cyprus, in association with Doha Film Institute, KNM Films, Boo Films, The Bridge Production, Synchronicity Production, Loverture Films, Open City Films, Les Films des Tournelles Cast. Zayn Al-Rafia, Yordanos Shifra, Bolawatif Treasure Bankol, Qadr Al-Haddad, Fadi Kamel Yusuf, Cedra Azam, Ala Jauchni, Nadine Labaki Director, Nadine Labaki Screenwriters, Nadine Labaki, Jihad Hojuli, Michelle Kasrouani, George Kabaz, Khaled Mozanner Producers, Khaled Mozanner, Michelle Merkt Executive Producers, Akram Safa, Fouad Makati, Candice Abella, Samar Risk, George Sarif, Sylvia Sharif Tabit, Ray Barakat, Chadi Eli Mutter, Antoine Khalif, Jocelyn Barnes, Danny Glover, Wissam Smira co-producer, Pierre Serif director of photography, Christopher Owen art director, Hussein Baidoun costume designer, Zina Saab Demolero editors, Constantine Bach, Laura Gardet music, Khaled Mozanner casting, Jennifer Haddad sales, Wild Bunch 131 minutes.